Today on Scrapbook Soup, we'll be doing simple art journaling, creating a vintage shabby chic page, and making a bird cage.
So stay tuned for the recipes to our Scrapbook Soup.
Today's Scrapbook Soup has been brought to you in part by Michael's Stores Incorporated, where creativity happens. Michaels.com, Sakura Color Products of America, sakuraofamerica.com.
You know, journaling isn't just for on a scrapbook page. You actually have an art journal, Julie, and you're going to show us how we can create our own, right?
Absolutely, and it's so easy. We're going to be making this beautiful page that you have here. And you can see this silhouette. Well, this was so easily made. You can see right there. I cut a figure out from magazine, covered it with some packing tape so I can reuse it because I'm super lazy. And put it there. And before we do this, I just want to say that there are some figures that work better than others. Figures that have spaces in the arms work better than figures that don't. So this one, which doesn't have a space, I'll show you. This kind of just looks like a blob, right? It doesn't really look good. So make sure that you have some spaces in the arms when you do this.
Gives you more to work with.
Exactly. Okay, so this is super easy to get started. I simply put it down on my page. And now I'm working with a water brush that comes in 2 pieces. I have pre-filled this with water. I'm just going to take that plug out, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to screw on the top of that water brush. And then you simply squeeze it to release the water into the brush tip, and then I'm going to go straight into my watercolor. And I'm going to go ahead and just holding the figure with one hand, I'm just going to scratch some watercolor around it to get that figure to show. And I'm going to put some paper towel in here, and I'm going to flip the page to show you one that I already have done. And that paper towel is just so that, you know, it absorbs some of the water we're using.
You know, I love this size because you've got 12 colors in here, but it's so nice and small. The brush is in here.
Yeah,
I could put that in my pocket and take it on a plane.
I have it. You know what I did on the plane here is I art journaled. It was very fun.
Well, of course. Would I doubt that?
Then I'm just going to take a black pen and I'm just going to go around the silhouette that I drew. And I'm not being particularly careful. I'm just getting the basic shape of that silhouette down. And I'm just going to continue around, and I want to make sure that I get all her hair and all that other stuff and the inside of her arm and down through her legs. That was fast and easy.
That was very fast and very easy.
Then I'm going to take some brown. And brown is a great color for just doing a little bit of shading outside of her shape. And I'm not worried too much about if I'm going in the lines or not.
And of course it's a waterproof pen, so it's not going to run on you.
Waterproof pen, very, very important. So I just continue going around, and I would do the whole figure, and then I'm going to do simple lines emanating out from her. And then I'm going to bring in this facing page. We have this issue in scrapbooking as well, which is when you have a facing page, how do you make the pages match? Well, can you see how I just carried that line straight across? So now my pages are being pulled together just right through that wire coil like that. And I'm just going to put another paper towel in here, and I'm going to flip the page, and you'll see that I have one here that's already done.
Beautiful. I love your blotting paper.
It's cheap and easy, right? And so now what I'm going to do is I am going to go through a rainbow of color, and I'm just going to start doing some stripes.
And you're not washing the brush out each time?
I'm not washing the brush out each time. I'm not concerned about if the colors mix. I'm going to go right in there, put that yellow right against there, and if they mix together, I just love the way that that ends up looking.
And it's a surprise every time.
Yeah, you know, my art journal is a place that I really use to experiment. I find that a lot of things that I try out in my art journal end up going onto my scrapbook pages and other artwork that I make, because this is like, I always think of it as a playground for your imagination. It's a place to just relax.
Oh, I love that.
See what happens. You can use all sorts of colors and let them all blend and play. And let's put put another fabulous piece of blotting paper in there. And we're going to flip the page, and you can see, woo,
Just a rainbow.
All that color, and you don't have to worry about it. And now, this is unfortunately a little bit hard for me to do upside down, so maybe we'll do it sideways, which is I'm going to do my journaling inside this figure. So,
And you're going to use the brush.
I'm going to use the brush. I'm going to say, today, and you can see it's very messy and easy.
Yeah.
Today I am feeling happy because I'm here with you.
Well,
there you
of
go.
course.
And, you know, and you just could keep going as much as you wanted. And then you can do your large title right on top of watercolor. Remember, watercolor is transparent, and yet it's still opaque in some funny ways. So if I wanted to write a big word, like the word change, I can just go right over that other watercolor.
You know, I can imagine
top of
this
it.
would be great to do with your kids.
Oh,
or
yeah.
grandchildren. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
because, you know, when they're young, they have no limits, and they love to take a piece of white paper, and they don't even
play
think
with
about
it.
it. They just play. And we
Yeah.
can learn a lot from them. Like, we're learning a lot from you.
And watercolor is also so forgiving. You know, it doesn't matter. If you feel like there's a place that's a little bit difficult, you can just grab some excess water, rub, and then you can take a paper towel and you can blot it up and you can clean up a lot of
And you get all the
issues.
different effects and everything.
Exactly. So let me show you back that original page, and you can see fun, simple, and incredibly easy.
I love your art journal, Julie.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot. We'll be right back. You know, there's so many different embellishments that we can add to a scrapbook page, and sometimes they're so dimensional. We want to put them in a frame and make it a piece of wall art. And the sample that we have here, Christina Mauch joined us from Elmer's, and you brought this to show us how easily it is to attach all these different things, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's going to look gorgeous hanging on someone's wall.
Absolutely. And very simple steps to create this. What I did first was started out by removing the glass from the frame, placed this on a piece of foam board, and I used a craft knife to cut around the perimeter of the glass.
Also, no measuring.
No measuring at
Great.
all. This piece of foam board has an adhesive backing, which is really easy to just peel off. And we'll take this beautiful piece of cardstock
Okay.
and place that right on the foam board. So easy to do. The next thing is we'll take this burgundy cardstock and use this adhesive, which is in a tape form, and roll that on the back.
That makes it so nice. It's so quick to do, and you can go right along the edge if you need to, as well as down the center,
Absolutely.
and get a nice secure hold.
And you'll want to put this about an inch above the end of this board.
Okay.
Place that down. The next thing we'll do is take this beautiful metallic ribbon and use our spots of glue. And go ahead and put that on the corners very easily.
You know, the spots of glue, that's a very aggressive adhesive, and it's really
It
good for
is,
things
as you
like
can see.
ribbon and fabric.
Right.
Because I've found in the things that I've made, it's really important to have the right adhesive for the right material that you're wanting to glue.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and put this right over the burgundy cardstock and just wrap that around the edges here.
And just tuck it right at the
And
back.
tuck it right back. Perfect.
Very cool.
Great. The next thing we'll do is take our photo, and again I'm using the adhesive foam board, so we'll just pull this right off, place our photo on top, and then we'll place this on the metallic cardstock.
Okay.
And for that we're going to use our glue pen.
Okay.
We're going to use the thicker end here.
And this is kind of a multi-purpose glue, right? We can use it for fabric, we can use it for paper,
Yes.
lots of different materials.
Many applications here.
And probably at home, we'd want to put it all over the back just to make sure that it's going to be very, very secure, especially if it's going to hang on a wall.
Absolutely. So we place that on the center of the cardstock, and we'll go ahead and put.
Oh, somebody's been
Look at
doodling under
that
that
already.
with markers. How fun.
And we'll put some more adhesive back there.
Okay. Shall we put a little bit of extra in the middle so that
Sure.
we do have a nice secure hold for the little sample
Absolutely.
that we're making?
There you go.
That's going to be great.
And then we'll place that right
There
on
you
top
go.
here like this. There we go. And next we're going to use this piece of ribbon here, of this lace, and we'll go ahead and we're going to use the fine tip.
You know, it's nice to have two tips because then you can spread a lot of glue everywhere, and then with a fine tip, it helps add, you know, just a little line for those detail things.
It does, which is perfect. So we'll lay that on there. Next, we're going to take petals from the stems of these flowers, and what we've done is pulled out the center. We've taken the metallic chenille stem and placed it through a button, and actually just pulled that through a little bit. But before we do that, we're actually going to use
a little bit of
the tool and pull that right through.
That looks so pretty.
It's beautiful. Look at that. Great. So then we'll pull this back.
Do we want to pull it down just a little bit?
A little
first,
bit, yeah.
Christina?
We'll pull that
There
through
we go.
a little bit further.
Just one big yank.
There we go.
There we go.
Now
Just
it's
break
nice
it all
and
the way
secure.
down.
And again, we'll use our adhesive pen.
Can we spread those apart for you so
Thank
it lays
you.
flat? There we go.
Great. We'll put a big glob right in the center there. Perfect.
There.
And then we'll just...
Here, these petals have just kind of fallen out, but we still have lots there, so
There
we'll
we
set those
do.
aside and use those somewhere else.
Great. And then we'll just plop that right down here in the center. And then what we'll do is we've got a beautiful V that we've painted with a metallic paint marker. And we'll go ahead and use some of the adhesive on this as well. And then we'll place that right to this side.
That is so beautiful. You know what? Let's make another flower because actually we can glue it right on top of the photograph.
Great.
Can I do that for you?
Absolutely. Thank you.
We can use a craft knife and just make a little hole in the center. And working on a mat and being very cautious, of course.
Yes.
Of course, when we're using a craft knife. Yeah. Give
you.
that back to you. And then we have another little button and chenille here. And then I can just poke it through where we've made the slit. And I think I have another little piece of chenille over here because I really like that look.
It looks beautiful.
And this is a little bit too big, you know, but we could always trim it afterwards. You know, the one thing about making things, you make it yours by doing exactly what you want to do with
You
it.
do.
So let's pull that through here and pull on the chenille stem. You know, buttons are a really cool embellishment as well. There's so many different designs and you can do lots and lots of things with it. And we'll just curl that back. Do you want to put a nice...
Yes, let's put a dot right here.
Yeah. And you know, there's lots of really cool flowers available, you know, in the craft store, just ready to put on your project.
Absolutely.
But when you go in the floral department, you see all these beautiful floral stems, and they've got lots of flowers on, lots of petals.
Yes.
And I love the idea of making your own and adding your own embellishments.
It does. It adds a special touch to this.
Very economical too.
Absolutely.
Now let's just look at our finished project. You did add a little bit more chenille
We did.
to that one. And then also there's another page over here that you did that would actually go in an album. It's nice and flat, but again, we've got ribbon on there, there's a button on there, as well as cardstock and paper that we normally use in our scrapbooking project.
Yes.
Christina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now stay with us because we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm here with Jo Pearson from Michaels, and she's going to show us how to make an absolutely fantastic bird cage. Now, this is such a beautiful project. It's a great home decor piece, but I can also really see it being a centerpiece or something like that. Will you show us how to make it, Jo?
I will. You know, it could be a great little shower, little
Love that
little shower
idea.
centerpiece, whatever, and it's really easy to make. We are just going to start out with a paper mache box, and we're going to use both pieces, but we're going to take it apart. So what we've done is we've taken and we've painted the very bottom of the box.
Okay.
Because we're going to cover the rest of this with paper.
Okay.
And actually, you know what? I'm going to let you start taking, we have double stick tape, which is absolutely the best thing ever made.
It is super sticky.
So I'm going to let you put that
Okay.
around there, and I'm going to show you how we're going to start building the
Excellent. I'm going to peel that
bird
off.
cage. Okay. This is actually, so we have the lid, and what I did is we just painted it with black gesso, and then I'm using the super duper punch here.
That's just a really heavy punch
A
that'll
heavy
go through
punch.
something
It
as
will.
thick.
And it actually will, you know, it's great because it'll punch through metal or a lot of things. So you've got two places here. So what we've done is we've punched through and we've made our holes because this is where our wire is going to go. Now, we've cut 4 pieces of wire, and you know what? You're going to have to just kind of look and see how big you want your cage to be, because if you're going to use a different size box, then obviously you're going to want your wire different.
And what kind of wire is this?
This is just a very, it's a very lightweight, a very bendable. So you almost have to look at the wire. It's kind of an aluminum wire.
Okay.
So what we did is we went through the holes, but we came through, I'm going to show you, we're going to come through here.
Yes.
And then it's so soft that you can bend it by hand. So you don't have to have like, you know, you don't have to have power tools. They won't let me play with power tools. So if I can't do it this way, then I can't do it. So we're going to crisscross and go over.
Okay.
Just come around.
So while you're doing that, I'm just going to wrap this
That's
around
right.
the box.
You're just going to put put your
Okay.
piece of paper around there.
Excellent.
And when we get all of these in, then I'm going to show you. We're going to kind of bundle it at the top. So we're going to take and just continue to build our little bird cage here. A little birdie told me how to make this, actually.
I love that.
No, I love bird cages.
Me too. They're
like
so hot. Now, how do you decide? You're just going opposite hole to
Yes.
opposite hole.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Really, there kind of isn't a wrong, you know, a right or wrong way to do it, because you're really just going to go, which now you'll see I just put it in backwards. So we're going to take it and put it in the right way.
Okay. And I just remind you that all of the measurements will be on our website.
Right. So we're just going to keep continuing to go around here. And let me
Okay.
show you. So we've continued to build our bird cage.
Yes.
When you get all done, you're just going to take a piece. Look what we've done. We've just taken a piece of wire and we've kind of gathered them all in the middle, just with
Okay,
another little
I
piece
see
of wire,
that.
and did that. Now, these are kind of fun. These are just some gems, and some of them have a hole across there, across the very top. But this one has a hole through it, so it's like a bead.
Okay.
So what I've done is I've actually taken a head pin, and because this has a pretty big hole in it,
Right.
the head pin will go through. So I've put a little tiny bead.
Okay. And that bead is to keep the bigger hole in that large bead from going all the way
right,
through.
so it's not going to fall off.
Okay.
So we're going to take, and we're just going to bend this over, and we're going to make
Just using some flat nose pliers
exactly.
there.
And so we're just going to attach it then. As you can see, we've attached them around.
I see.
And that makes our fun. We had to use a little jump ring, okay, that we just attached to our piece of wire.
Right.
So we're just going to go through there, and we're going to attach that, and then you can just go back and clip off that extra.
Fantastic.
So that we've made our fun little box. But let's look. I want to show you our cute little bird's nest. We just took some ribbon, and we just kind of wove it in and out of the little bird's nest.
Now tell me how you weave that ribbon in and out, because if I look at that nest, it looks so dense.
It is, but you know what? Look, I just took like the wire cutters or a scissor and just kind of poked it through there. And then
Okay.
you can just pull it through. And I mean, you could loop it. If you wanted to glue it, you could, but you know, we've just kind of looped it around there. And then we've turned our cage upside down this way.
Right.
And we will have just glued our little piece on there. And then look how fun this is. But I want you to get that bird out of there. I want to show you how fun this little bird is.
Let me sneak the little birdie out of here. What? Oh, I don't know if he's going to make his escape.
He doesn't want
He's
to
a
fly,
little bit
does
stuck.
he?
Let's see if we can get him out. Aha!
Look, this is just a fun little paper mache bird, and what we did is we just gessoed it. And look, see, we just cut out some little words,
Oh,
and
I
we
love
put it in there.
that.
And then the flowers on the very top that we took,
So these are just
And look what we
regular
did.
paper flowers.
and look, we just inked them,
How fun.
okay? We took some fun ribbon and tied it around the very top. Now you can choose any kind of ribbon that you want to go around here. So we've just kind
Okay.
of tied some ribbon together.
I like how you've tied the black and the ribbon to the black painting, the black and the paper. It sort of all pulls it together.
Well, but you know what's fun? Think about it. You could do this in 100 different colors for any
yeah.
kind of party theme, you know, and it's simple
For
enough
a wedding
to do.
shower and the bride's colors, for a
Would-
baby shower. You could do it for a boy if you did a little more masculine
Absolutely.
colors.
They would be great fun on a table. And then we just made a little card on there, and look, so then you can just take and you can glue your little flowers on here. And what a great little
It
centerpiece
is
you
adorable.
have.
So now how would you attach these flowers?
I would use a hot glue gun.
And could you also use some sort of specialty glue for metal?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you could just glue it on with regular craft glue, you know, to put it on there. I just like instant
gratification. Exactly. Me too. Me too. So let's look at the finished one here, which is really beautiful.
Isn't that cute? We're going to take our little birdie out here. I want to show you how cute
And
he looks.
fly on home.
I know. Fly on there
Perfect
to the
for
other
a wedding
cage.
shower or a baby shower or anything like that, a prom.
Really, you could attach the bird cage to just about anything, and you've got a whole new look.
This has been so lovely. Thank you, Joe.
You're welcome.
And we'll be right back.
Well, we have one more project, and this one uses washi tape. And it's a brand new supply for scrapbookers. And Julie, you're going to tell us exactly what washi tape is.
I am. So tape has been a new and sort of popular supply that's come up, and washi tape is basically transparent and removable. I know, right? Removable
Yeah,
is an
like the
awesome
removable
word.
part.
So it comes in lots of different patterns and lots of different colors and styles, and I think a lot of people collect it more than use it. So I thought we'd talk today about a couple different ways you can actually use it, right?
And washi is actually a Japanese word, right?
It is actually, because the original washi tapes were made from washi paper, which was a transparent kind of paper. And now I think a lot of people call it tissue tape or paper tape, or there's lots of different words.
Right.
But it's the same stuff, essentially.
Same stuff, right.
Exactly. Okay, so let's talk about these layouts first. Now, obviously, you can use it like any piece of tape you would. You can see here, there's a photo of my mom, and I've just used the washi tape to hold her down, and just holding down my journaling, and it adds that nice sort of color and texture. It's just sort of fun and casual, right? And then here on this tennis layout, I have used both this green spotted washi tape and some washi tape that has writing on it, yes, to hold on the photos, but it also becomes more of a design element. You're now sort of using it like it's transparent patterned paper
Right.
to create a really fun look, you know? And of course, we have these adorable little flags.
Actually, I was looking at the donut holes, I have to admit.
I know,
but
makes
they
you
are
kind of
nice
hungry,
fun.
right?
I see one, it's got my name on the back.
Yeah, they're very cute and easy to make, so I thought I'll give you a toothpick, and I'll take a
Oh,
toothpick.
okay.
You can pick any color tape you want, and I'd show
I
you
will
just
pick
how
one
easy it
with
is to make
musical
them.
notes.
Okay, so the hardest part here is finding the beginning of the tape.
Okay.
But the thing about washi tape is you can cut it if you want, but I just like to rip it. So I rip off a nice piece of it.
Okay.
And then I put it sticky side up, and then I'm just going to stick the toothpick in approximately the center. We don't really measure, you know.
Right.
And then I'm just going to roll the tape over on itself so that it sticks together. And then I take some scissors, and I'm simply going to cut out a little flag notch, sort of a pennant or something like that. And you can certainly do one in team colors and have a little sporty one. And then I'm just going to stick it right there. Oh, it's a little behind the other flag. Maybe I'll stick it up front here. And of course, there are lots of variations of what you can do. You can stick embellishments on it. I have a happy birthday on this one. I did a candle and a little doodle. This one has a heart cut out from the center.
That is
and
cool.
You can see how even I stacked two different kinds of washi tape onto the toothpick. And you can do long ones on a skewer. Lots of variations.
This may be an awesomely brilliant
Yeah.
idea, but tell me if it's not. This is removable.
Yeah.
Can we actually
you.
put it on paper and run it through our printer and make our own custom printed tape? Are there plain colors available?
You know,
or-
I don't actually. Here, the issue is that washi tape has a shiny surface. And so I don't know how well it would take printer ink.
Yeah, that's a good.
That's
yeah,
the
a really
one
good
issue.
point. Yeah.
But, oh, look how you cut your flag in a totally different shape. That's so cute.
oh, you got the point, right?
Yeah. Anyway, so I made these envelopes also with washi tape, and this is just an envelope that I bought at the store, and I just ran the tape back and forth on it, and this one really shows off the transparency, so
Yeah, 'cause
I
when you
think that's
blend the
really cool.
When you blend the colors together, then of course, you know, where they overlap, you're going to get a
Yeah.
third color. This is so pretty.
It's
There's
really
one problem
cool.
with this, though.
What?
I wouldn't want to throw it away. I'd be keeping all these envelopes.
I just wanted to show you the removability for one
Okay.
second, which is, so I put this down, and I am, you know, I'm putting it down there pretty well, but then I just take my fingernail, and magically, it just comes off. Now, I can obviously re-stick this, you know, somewhere else, or I can put it down, and it doesn't matter how many pieces you put on top of it. This stuff really stays very removable,
yeah.
so it makes it so that you can't make a mistake, because one of my fears often when you're using tape or something like that is you're like, oh God,
Once it's there, it's there.
it's
Yeah,
there, and you
yeah.
get nervous. And you can see how you can see the pattern creeping through here with the two different
Yeah,
colors.
I like the transparency effect of it.
Me
but I'm glad
too.
to know that it doesn't, I mean, it's removable, but it does not come off easily like when this envelope goes through the mail.
Well, you know,
It's
I
gonna
have to
look
be
the
honest
same.
here. I did coat the top of this because it was going to go through the mail with a clear gel medium. just because I wanted to make sure that the postman wasn't going to have all the fun with it.
Well, that's true. I could see him just covered in washi tape. But on a scrapbook page or something like that, especially if it's in a page protector, it will be just fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I wanted, honestly, if I wanted to just pull this up right here off this layout, I just get my nail under there. I get going, and this is coming off of vellum and a transparency, and you can see it just comes right off. And I made this layout maybe a year ago, and so it's still, able to pick it up.
This pattern.
Okay.
That's got all kinds of print.
Isn't this cool with the text?
At all these great
so
colors,
many
Julie.
different choices, and there are lots of other different tapes on the market that you can certainly get. There's non-transparent tapes of all kinds. There's decorative masking tapes. I even saw at some of the big box stores they have a great decorative duct tape and tie dye.
Oh my gosh!
But now
yes.
that's really permanent. That's something that you don't necessarily want to be putting down.
We wouldn't want to make a dress, for example, with this, right?
No. No.
It's very, very cool. Okay, now I've heard of something called gaffer tape, which I know has been around in fact, this has been around such a long time.
It has.
We're just now bringing it into the scrapbooking and paper crafting industry and discovering lots of new uses for very old product, which is very, very cool. But so gaffer tape.
Yeah, so gaffer tape is exactly, it's used, I'm sure you've seen it often to wrap electrical equipment and stuff because it doesn't leave a sticky residue. And so what happens is they have now printed gaffer tape, which again is the same thing, but it's a really thick, heavy-duty tape. Like you could use that to bind a book or something like that.
Yeah, that's really cool. You know what? I bet the guys in the studio use it too.
I'm sure that they do.
Julie, thanks. And thank you for watching. We hope you'll stop by next time as we create a new mix of ideas, projects, and designers on Scrapbook Soup.
Visit scrapbooksouptv.com for a mix of ideas, a mix of ingredients, a mix of designers, and all of the instructions for every project found on this series of Scrapbook Soup. Create your own recipe for great scrapbooking. This is show 110. A complete set of all 13 episodes of Scrapbook Soup Series 100 is available for $39.99 plus shipping and handling. A mix of designers, techniques, and projects, all in one complete package to watch anytime. Visit scrapbooksouptv.com to place your order. Today's Scrapbook Soup has been brought to you in part by Michael's Stores Incorporated, where creativity happens. Michaels.com, Sakura Color Products of America, SakuraofAmerica.com.